You know what it is?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Spitter Act. Today we're talking about the Richard Meyer lawsuit against Mark Waid. Oh my goodness, I don't know how this slipped through, but from reading Bleeding Cool, it seems that Richard Meyer has voluntarily dismissed his lawsuit against Mark Waid. Whoa, what the heck? There were camps on either side of this particular debacle. And of course, my boy Petey's going to give you a little bit more information when he jumps on right here. Say hi to everybody, Petey.
Hey, what's up? Basically, it's a report in Bleeding Cool that the case was dropped, and it's just one of the things that seemed like it was just sitting in court, and it was just sort of burning away both of their money. So ultimately, seems like he just dropped it.
Yeah.
He voluntarily dismissed the case.
Well, I wonder what happened. Did Waid pay him off? What went on?
No, it doesn't seem like there was a says joint statement from Richard Meyer and Mark Waid.
Right, but it says it's dismissal of the lawsuit. Parties have executed a confidential agreement and have no interest in continuing this dispute in the public arena or anywhere else. So that's what I'm saying.
You asked me to say something and then you said it like you were like Captain Picard.
Wait. First of all, I apologize if I said that because my New Year's resolution precludes me from doing that, and also make sure that I also apologize. But number two, do not talk about the Captain Picard like that. If you want,
whatever.
I'm gonna have to whoop you. All right, but let's stop.
Joint statement from Richard Meyer and Mark Waid. They filed a lawsuit in the Western District of Texas against Mark Waid, versus of tortious interference. The contract and defamation arising from intended publication of a comic book at Antarctica Press entitled Jawbreakers. That's been published. And then it says, both the parties have jointly decided that it's in the best interest of all concerned and the comic community at large that this litigation is to end, and Meyer has decided to voluntarily dismiss the lawsuit. Neither party admitted any liability or responsibility and can claim they achieved any victory. Both have agreed to assume their own fees and costs.
Wow.
So,
I guess they saw the lawyers' bill, even though they raised a significant amount of significant sums to fight this battle. It's pretty telling that Richard Meyer is basically going to be what he has remaining of some of the funds that he's getting refunded from his attorneys. He's giving it to several charities, which is good, and it's coming up to what, $1,800 per charity, about $8,900, almost $9,000 remaining. So it must have been getting costly. When you start doing wars.
yeah.
When you start doing battle, I guess you have to lawyer up, and you got to get cash on hand to fight this out, baby. So,
well, it seemed like it was going on too long. It's 2018, and things didn't get rolling to 2019, and then the pandemic, and it's just like they'd have to. But that's ultimately why most cases get settled, because of just delay of game and waste of money. So it's not necessarily Richard Meyer has his company that's, I guess, rolling, as you could say, was rolling a little before this thing happened and rolling without Antarctica Press. So it would have just been interesting to see if Antarctica Press, this would have been a publishing thing for them to have to bow out of it is kind of sad. If it could have possibly, it would have been interesting to see what they could have done with it. Why is our partner in crime disliking it?
But it's pretty interesting that that from what I'm looking here, it says that Meyer raised $150,000. If he only had $9,000 left at the end of this stuff, wow, that tells you how expensive this whole process was. And Waid raised $84,000 on GoFundMe. So, but he got some pretty prominent donors, from Mark Guggenheim, Ross Levin, Dan Slott, Al Ewing, and you never know. Probably Marvel may have been willing to back it. We don't know, but it's pretty big. Ethan Van Sciver also ran a GoFundMe ran a campaign, a fundraising campaign for Richard Meyer's legal bid also. So that which is that 150,000. So it's pretty interesting. You had Ray Fowler and Ariel Kohler, Chuck Dixon, who were backing Richard Meyer's thing. So I'm like, wow. Wow, wow, on both their things. So basically they came out, they were screaming, they were having a pissing contest, and what happens? Nothing happens, bro. You know, it's
Yeah.
confidential. Either but here's the thing, with tortious interference, you have to show I'm not a lawyer, so let me just say that right now. But I think one of the things you got to show is that you were unable to make any money doing this. And so he was able to go somewhere else and publish Jawbreakers, and Jawbreakers was successful. So
But he didn't make any money with Antarctic Press.
right, but he made it with someone else.
But
Then
that's
he
not
go,
the
he
thing.
go,
He
yeah, but then he
interrupted the
go,
money stream. But not to say this is not about just making money. He interrupted this publication. He hasn't made any money from publication of it. I can't hear you. We don't believe you.
I mean, I'm just getting the definition of tortious interference. Tortious interference, also known as intentional interference, is a contractual relation in the common law of torts. Occurs when one person intentionally damages someone else's contract or business relationship with a third party, causing economic harm. The key thing here is the economic harm that was done. He was able to find another.
No, that's not what it is. It has nothing to do with him finding another way to make money.
Well, then why, if that's the case, this is what I'm trying to say. If that's the case, you're making it sound like it's an open and shut case on your end. He was blocked by Antarctic Press, therefore he didn't make the case that he didn't, and therefore he should be able to sue, Meyer should be able to sue him and make money. It's not that simple. It's simple. What happens is that
what's not simple is the courts.
Huh?
The courtroom, going to court is the complication of just sitting around there doing nothing, watching your money go down the drain. So anyone that wants to litigate outside of death, or what's the name, we see it in Hollywood all the time when they say, hey, you know, you find out the movie made money, and then you go to court and they say, no, it didn't make any money yet. It's like the delay game is costly.
I'm just reading from the Wikipedia stuff, and what they're basically saying, it's costly, but they're saying that if you win, what you get is economic loss, right? If it can be proven with certainty, and mental distress. Additional punitive damage may be awarded. So they have to prove with certainty. And some of the things, and every state is a little different, but some of the key things, you have to show the existence of a contractual relationship or beneficial relationship between the two parties, which we did, Antarctic and Meyer. The knowledge of the relationship by a third party. So that's Antarctic, there's a relationship, and you know, try to intentionally try to mess it up.
Yes, with Waid
of the third party to induce a party to a relationship to breach a relationship.
Yes.
If he intentionally tried to do this to do
yes.
The lack of any
yes.
So I mean, those are some of the things that they have to do, and damage to the party against whom the breach occurred. The question really goes down, was there enough damage to Meyer, or Meyer was able to successfully do Jawbreakers and make the money? You know, if this is something in the industry that happens, who knows? But I'm saying Meyer lucked out. You know, he got the money. They had the money. He had the money for the court. He was down to $9,000. So clearly he was blowing more money on lawyers. Or we don't know. It could have been the same thing for Mark Waid. But I guess they came to an agreement like, yo, we're going to kill this. It's not working for either one of us, you know, and that's it. So it's pretty interesting to me as far as I'm concerned that it seems that both of them stopped this too. We don't know. There's a confidential agreement. It's very possible that Waid or Marvel may be paying Meyer. Who knows? You know, if all the evidence is there, but if evidence is not there, it wouldn't have taken so many years to go to court, you know?
You know how long,
Waid,
you know how long the Central Park jogger case went? Right? They knew that they had the thing. The thing is that, well, specifically Bloomberg slowed it down and said, this isn't going anywhere. No, get out of here. No. Look who's back.
You like the show. So, I mean, I'm not sure. When was this was 2018, right? That they were talking about Antarctica, right?
Yes.
So, according to the Indiegogo for that when it was closed, Jawbreakers Lost Soul made $404,000. That's something, you know.
I'm saying to you like this.
So he's going to have to show.
No, you're saying that he has to show that he's destitute. That's not what it is.
I'm not saying destitute. I'm just saying that there's a loss. And
no, The
The
thing is,
following year, he made $251,000 off of on Jawbreakers. So I'm thinking it's going to be hard to show that. If not,
oh, it's not looking at, you keep trying to change the finish line. It has nothing to do with him, what money he makes. You think rich people go to court with tortious interference, even though they got money? They say you messed up the money that I was gonna make with Antarctica. It is not about the rest of his money that he has.
so all I'm just saying, and I'll say it again, you may disagree with me. Oh, sorry, my New Year's resolution is to be nice to Petey. So Petey, my apologies about that. So I'm not going to fight you on that. But I'm just going to interject. He made money off of Jawbreakers. The loss of Antarctic didn't really seem to hurt him as much. So the question we need to ask here, is it a win for Waid, or is it a win for Meyer, or is it a no contest? They both get away. Who gets the 1 and who gets the 0 in their column?
They both crowdfunded. They both ultimately Meyer, maybe he did gain some friends, and Waid, this kind of opened up, helping us see Waid as we hadn't seen him before, of many of us fans that saw him as this this
saw him as what? As one of the most talented writer guys in Marvel right now. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying to you, he's going to be a pro. He's writing in the style that's out there now, but ultimately he's had some business things that haven't gone his way. What's going on, son?
I'm waiting for you. You cut off, so I'm waiting to see what you got to say, bro.
I'm just saying that ultimately, the people in Waid's camp going to say this is a win. The people in Meyer's camp say, hey, it's a court case. It's just messy, long, and we might as well get off the ride rather than run out of money.
I think
because Waid could have run out of money before Meyer, it seems, but ultimately, I don't know. It seems perfect. Like, I guess they decided, they got to a point where they say, hey, I can't defend myself. What are we doing here? And they say, well, I'm not going to go on the stand and say that I did that. So we have what we have. Right?
But no, the problem is that the key thing here is that if Mark Waid called Antarctic and just came, from someone in the industry and just say, yo, this guy is horrible, you shouldn't be using him, blah, blah, blah.
He did.
We're not denying that. The question is whether or not is he just the famous? It's like if you called up Antarctic and said, yo, this dude over here, Meyer, is horrible, bro. You can't be doing. People are just voicing their opinion. You know what I'm trying to say? You're making it seem Waid didn't run Antarctic. Waid didn't control Antarctic. And if you didn't have that, he's just giving his opinion, basically. All right? So, I mean, you're saying, take away the man's free speech, And
the internet slammed the Antarctica press guy.
You can slam him. But I'm just saying, did he force Antarctica to drop it? That's the key question here. And
I think it needed to stop people going around using Twitter to attack people because you didn't like their stuff, or you don't like the cut of their jib, or they voted for Trump, any of that stuff. I'm not into none of that. I'm not a fan of it. It don't make no sense to me. Don't jump on these people and don't bully them. Let them do their books. They have their fans. The two shouldn't meet. The thing is,
wait a second. Didn't we just have this whole conversation when people were trying to attack the Capitol and stuff like that? And those groups were using Twitter and attacking people, and even going to the fact, and I'm not saying this is Meyer, and I'm not saying this is the Comicsgate guy, that they were saying these things that were malicious and stuff. And Twitter wasn't doing anything. And then at the very end, they decided they wanted to totally expel the president, President Trump.
You forgot him already? Wow. President, what's his name? Who's the name?
Yo, the presidents, as soon as they leave, you move on to the next, baby. You move on to the next.
I don't
right?
get the connection you're trying to make.
No, what you're saying, the freedom of that they need to stop that. But I'm saying this is something they've allowed for a while. It's just now that they're cracking down on some of this stuff, like Twitter and Twitter attacks. I agree. I think there should be a semblance of reasonable discourse, and people shouldn't be able to just do a slam on people on a whole bunch of different things. We've seen it where they've slammed people for all kinds of stuff, and unfortunately, there's been tragic things where people have committed suicide based on this stuff, or people have acted on these things, and it's horrible. You can disagree with somebody, as long as, of course, you're not like a devil worshiper, or you're a right-wing conspiracist, wanting people to die, or a left-wing conspiracist wanting people to die. Those things don't cool or not cool. But on the other hand, if you can have a discourse and you don't call anyone to be killed and murdered, that's it. In China, they force people to, and I'm not using them as an icon of freedom and love, but they force everybody to give their names when they're on I think one of their their
Twitter,
social media, so you
social
know
media.
who's who basically. Here, because people don't know who's who, they can hide behind the anonymity and say what they want to say and throw darts at people. Some people, I give credit, where they actually stand up and say, "Hey, I'll tell you what I feel about you," and that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's a whole total change, societal change. And here in America, we're not rocking. But in this case, it just shows to me that, Waid isn't getting penalized, it looks like to me, for what he did to Meyer.
He skated. He definitely skated.
They're calling it quits.
I don't like what he did, but I mean, ultimately now it's a done deal. I mean, Wade can claim
Meyer said some questionable things, okay? And I don't
not in relation to this
disagree.
outside of look, it's been unearthed that Wade was called King Baby, right? That he's infant terrible in the comic industry, right? I'm not saying. I found out that he said he likes to just wants to go back to doing comic book work, not try to be editor in chief or anything like that. I'm just gonna work, by myself, or a writer or with artists, this, that, and the other. That seems
Sounds like Alan Moore to me.
huh?
Sounds like Alan Moore to me. Continue.
Alan Moore just cuts people off. He just decides, oh, I didn't like what happened, or for whatever reason, because there's some people I still don't know why he broke ties. But Waid ultimately, I mean, I don't have any of this from first experience, but a lot of things were unearthed during this period. A lot of comic book things came out. So
he got he has a pretty impressive list of supporters who helped to back him, and it's like a who's who of the comic book industry.
His friends, who if I said to not promote what is it, Frank Miller's Curse, right?
Mhm.
And then for Miller, and then I'm able to stop the publication of this book, and then there's a whole bunch of people, famous people backing me. What does it mean?
I'm just saying,
You like Waid, you like all the pros that he's connected with, but that's really not.
well, I'm buying some of those comics, so I like some of the writing that those guys are doing, and some of the guys, other than we're talking about
like the writers and you like their material.
We're talking about Eric Larson. We're talking about Arthur Adams. We're talking about some big dudes, and I'm not knocking. At the same time, I agree with the fact. I'm all for the free enterprise of people to come out and do. I don't think you're right. I don't think anybody should have their income snatched away or destroyed by someone up and above before them. Especially people like Waid. I'm not going to disagree with that. But again, it's Waid went on. I mean, Meyer went on to make some loot. So the question is, would he have made more with Antarctica or not? And I'm not sure if that's the case. According to Even Van Sciver, he makes more selling comics on GoFundMe than he ever would have made selling comics through a publisher, right?
Yeah, okay. But the thing was to try to have both going on. I have not just the crowdfunding, actually have some sort of published work. That would have been the interesting thing to see.
Well, let me tell you what we do see. Because of the case, it generated a lot of ink, a lot of thing in the media, and so it helped Meyer sell more. All right, it helped keep his name there. It helped the whole Comicsgate guys come out and fight it out with these guys. So what do they always say about advertising? There's no bad advertising. It's only advertising. The more you sell, the better you are. So by them keeping it up for what 2-3 years, they did their duty. Way whether he disagreed, his name is out there, and Meyer, of course.
Was Meyer on, what's that show? Oh my, this can't be him.
So I'm glad that you agree with me on that once again, Petey.
I don't agree with you.
I'm a tad bit shocked. I thought you just by your silence, you agreed with me.
I don't. Oh my God, this guy is on. Hold on, we gotta look at this.
Look at what?
We don't know. We have him in. He's been on Out of Context. Hold on, let me stop this.
What is Out of Context? That's his channel or something like that?
Oh, that's the Zach Galifianakis. Let's see this.
That's July 25th, 2018.
People that are kind of Nazi haters, which is weird to me because you look like Hitler's dream.
Yeah.
How old were you when you lost your virginity? 0? I'll tell you about when I lost my virginity. Is that exciting? Is it hard for you to maintain a suntan?
Yeah. All right, so this is some phony stuff.
So you stopped my flow to look at some phony stuff, bro.
I didn't know. I thought it was going to be something interesting. I thought you were going to get an interview out of it, but it was some sort of other thing. I thought we were going to hear something. Let's see. Did we finally put a face to the leg that holds the comic book? I guess that wasn't interesting to you.
There it is. Meyer, Waid, settled. Bro, Petey, let's not show all that, okay?
Trying to see what that Richard was all. What was that all for?
That's just somebody giving their opinion about this stuff, bro. Petey.
I'm trying to figure. Look, this is. You don't want to go through this to see what we can weed through.
I don't want to go through this and say, hey, we just discovered this a month later. That these guys, people already put out videos on this a month later, and we're looking through their videos to see what they said about it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what people do. You act like this is the first time someone looked through. You ever watch the news? When the news goes through the morning news, hey, look at this paper. This paper says this article.
Usually it's for the day or the day before, not a month later. That's what I'm talking about, How we let this one slip through, I guess the whole Christmas holidays threw us off for a loop, and of course, it's probably one of the things they did. They want to probably bury it like, yo, let's get this done before the new year or whatever,
Well,
probably,
as the lightning rod, this would be the problem, that it wasn't a full success, right? So it's not a full crushing of Mark Waid, not breaking him down. It's just like what we know about court cases. It's not always, it's not that sexy, and it's costly though.
right.
So you can say it's more of a woo on the Mark Waid side, and you could say it's possibly a loss because he didn't get to crush Mark Waid.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to look at it like that, the whole reason he brought in the court case because he wanted to crush him, right?
And what else would you want? You want to crush him.
You want to crush him. You want vindication, and stuff like that. But it doesn't look as though that's what happened. But at the same time, let's not take away from it that if you look at the course of public opinion, or at least the internet opinion, it seemed that a lot of people were backing, or at least the money was backing. The little guys were backing Richard Meyer, and that may have been the Comicsgate guys with Scott, either Brand Sky were backing in and stuff like that, and able to get his groups to follow through. While at least on the more top end, you had a bunch of people backing Waid, and Waid probably figured out, hey, it's not worth the time, the money, and effort to continue doing this stuff. If we can reach an out of court settlement, and that's what they ended up doing. You never want to go to court because you never know what's going to happen. What can come up and stuff. Sometimes it's better. It's usually better to just work things out and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks as though I was wondering if there were any repercussions, at least in Marvel, for Waid. Was Waid going to be like sidelined, or he's like, yo, you caused us too much problems or embarrassed us and stuff like that? But it still looks as though he's still there, right? The only thing I noticed.
They almost, I mean, they're not doing anything sort of negative to him. So, I mean, he's still one of the top guys under Dan Slott. Sorry.
You had to try and throw that in, right? Didn't you? Right?
I had to throw in Baby with a Beard. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's difficult to see if there's, like we had DC. You had people who left. That they gave notice they were leaving months before they actually ended up leaving. You find out about all the cuts and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that right now with Mark Waid. I didn't see it before. My assumption is he's still going to be on the comics that he's working on. I think he's doing a Fantastic Four, right?
No, he did a mini series with he did what's it, Antithesis?
Antithesis?
Yeah, with Neil Adams.
Yeah. Is that going on still, or is that done?
That's done.
Okay, so yeah, my bad. I thought it was. I'm just trying to see what is his latest comic that he's on. Show filter. Okay, there it is.
Is it?
Yeah, so I mean, so if that's finished, then I don't know what else he's doing then. I thought he was going to be doing the Heroes Reborn or something like that. The Antithesis is finished. So I'm not sure what else he's doing right now. I hope that he's still working.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he be? But I guess we've covered as much as we can with this. Unless you want me to say, I already said that. It seems like Waid escaped the fire, and it's a loss for Meyer because Meyer didn't crush Mark Waid. But in reality, life, this is how court cases go. There's no clear winner a lot of the time. And even if there was a settlement or whatever, still the talk of trying to get the money, there would be no possible way that Meyer can get the money. So
Yeah.
it's it's a done deal. And he also had, I mean, he's blown up during this pandemic or before the pandemic with all of his crowdfunding stuff. So he's not hurting, but I think the Comicsgate really wanted this win. When they already got a win, everyone's moved to crowdfunding, but people want that extra thing. They want that last slam dunk,
So you're saying, let me just make sure I got this, because I want to make sure I'm not quoting you incorrectly, because you always claim I do, and I'm not quoting you. I don't quote you incorrectly, but I just want to make sure I got it, and that you are not.
Just say it, man. Say it.
Wait. Are you? Hold on a second. Are you rushing me? I want to say it, but you're driving me. You're driving me crazy, bro. All right. So you're saying the comic book market collapsed, and you're because of last year.
Not the market. I'm just saying that he was successful during this period and the pandemic. He has the Expendables comic book. He has his Jawbreakers comic book. Those are the two I remember. There's a Pandemic comic book. Those are the three I remember. I don't remember much else. Is he still on? What's my thing? Kickstarter? Best year for comics.
What year?
2020.
2020? Yeah, they did. No, it was not the best year for comics. On Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh. Could be. Like I said,
Whatever.
I could say it could be. But yeah, they got this year, 2020, they got slammed, man. We know they got slammed. They got slammed hard. But
Got graphic novels, no enemy but peace. What happens when the what's those guys? What happens when the movie people come to him?
what do you mean by that?
He's got a graphic novel and an animation project, 3D animation project coming. The Hollywood is coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the numbers are just all over the place. Not everybody's releasing numbers, so it's hard to say what the main companies. But of course, they took a pretty big hit going forward.
Oh my God! I think Meyer did these covers.
What? What did you say?
I think Meyer's drawing covers.
Meyer's drawing covers now.
Yeah, hold on. I think, sorry. But I don't know what else. What else is going on? You don't want to end it. You want what do you want me to say? That Waid won?
You want to say that?
What do you want me to say?
I'm just saying it looks as though Meyer wasn't able to finish the case. He wasn't able to put a death knell on Waid.
Yep, I totally agree.
Okay, so then that's it then.
It's terrible. Sorry, Meyer.
Why are you saying sorry for?
Who said what I was so terrible? This picture looks cool.
It's hot. I gotta say. I mean, I'm not denying his talents and stuff, but some of the stuff does look good.
It's hard. That's pretty bad. But it's something he could get better at, it seems, if he was going to go that route.
He seems pretty good as it is right now.
Listen to the comic.
That's 2014, though. Look, that's 2014, bro.
I mean, maybe it's better than mine. I can say that. I can defend it like that.
It's definitely better than mine. But hey, enough respect. Good luck to both of you guys. Hope you guys have learned your lessons. Don't go to court if you have to. If you have a problem, just go to a ring and finish it up.
I was going to disagree, but you're right. Whatever you do, that's what my father said. If you can stay out of court, stay out of it. It don't make no sense unless, you have to. Look how long it took the Central Park Five to get their dough out of it. New York just put them on the shelf.
It takes a long time, bro.
They're playing, New York, the city was playing, we're the bank. We don't have to worry. Sit down there, people sending them their bills and whatnot. And they're like, yeah, whatever. We don't.
Look, that's the calculation sometimes. The calculation is that, hey, let's just wait them out. And it works like that.
And that's what it seemed like this happened. But I don't know how Waid would have any power to do that. It should have gone to some sort of thing. And all they got went into discovery. That seemed like as far as it went.
Yeah, but if you got good lawyers, you have a weak case. You go to discovery. You're gonna be bringing up all kinds of stuff. Hey, you never know. I don't even want to speculate, but you can bring up embarrassing things about people. You can slow things down by having different motions. You can fight every point out. If you have the money to do that. You could say. Remember, they were fighting about jurisdiction. So there's all kinds of levels that they can fight it on. Remember Trump. Trump fought on many different levels for different things. So it's like
failed.
What fail?
Trump fail.
Well, yes, his strategy was. I think that I was running some book where there's like in articles that they had here that they said that he would beat these small business owners who will come to him and he'll say, "Give me your best price," and then they'll give him their best price and they'll do the work, and he only pay him a partial amount of the whole thing, and they're like, "Oh, you owe us money." He said, "All right, sue me." And the whole thought was that, yeah, you may end up losing, but if 20% of them don't win, or drop out because they can't afford it, then guess what? You just saved yourself some money. So I mean, it's a cynical strategy, but it works, and he's not the only one to do it. Huh?
It's a terrible strategy.
It's a terrible strategy, but like landlords do that too. They know they try to get people out, force them out, and they know because of the laws here are pretty difficult. But if they're able to get 10% of the people out, and they make those apartments unregulated, and they can charge even more, then that strategy works out. Short term, it costs you up front with the lawyer's fee, but long term, that apartment, which let's say was going for $600 or $500, and then you're able to deregulate it, you can charge market rent $3,000 or whatever. So now, yeah, you may have paid, let's say, $10,000 on lawyers, but you're not getting $30,000 for the year. Even if you paid $30,000 for the lawyers for that 1 year, it makes this money back up within a couple of years, So it's worth it, even if only 10% of those cases work. Because if you get 100 apartments now giving you $300,000, it was worth the cost, because it's going, once it's deregulated, it stays deregulated unless something happens, And so that 300,000 goes on for several years. 10 years, that's 3 million, and of course that doesn't include annual increases. So it's a strategy he learned here in New York,
If that's what I said. So, Spinnerack, you're not gonna say it. You just want to keep this going. Out.